Hey, thanks for staying with us. This is Tara Thomas with Waterloo Schools, and we have two guests here that are quite familiar, I'm hearing, to the KBBG airwaves. Kittrell Elementary Principal Audrey Wallagan-Green and Family Support Worker John Barker. Welcome.
Thank you.
Audrey, tell us what's going on at Kittrell. You've been there for how long?
10 years.
Wow, okay.
This is year 10, and we have a ton of things going on. In fact, tomorrow we'll be at the Sportsplex. We're a Blue Zone school, and so we're trying to live healthier lives. We're working on that goal, staff and students, and so we thought we would take a field trip to the Sportsplex. So tomorrow we have an opportunity to swim or play bingo or watch a movie. So just getting families together and giving them an opportunity to do some things. And then also coming up February 3rd, we have a Mardi Gras math, reading, and health night. And we always serve a meal. And then we have some math and reading things that people can do at home. And then we always send them home with something, some type of a gift, a book or something like that. So there are just a couple of things that are going on as far as activities.
And it's great that the elementary buildings, your building in particular, is doing so much to reach out and include these after-school activities that can bring the whole family back to the building where their children are spending so much of their day.
Yes.
What kind of turnout have you been getting? How do you feel about the parents showing up to support these events?
It certainly varies. Mr. Barker had a night in December, snowmen at night.
Yes.
So maybe you can tell about
Yes.
how many were there.
We had about, and we combined, I'm in two schools, we combined the schools this time, and I think we had about 70% as far as attendance with
Wow.
families that were there that night. And so the Snowmen at Night, it's a book, and we kind of used that as a theme and had activities pertaining to that book.
As a family support worker, how much does that mean to you to be able to engage with moms and dads, grandpas and grandmas on that level?
As a family support worker, that is my job, to engage families and bring them into the school, get them doing some activities with their families, and so that's a big part of my job.
And do you feel like having that fun opportunity to connect with them makes it easier to really be supportive during some challenging situations?
Yes, yes. It's also building that relationship in a positive manner at first, and so again, when we have to do some other kinds of communications, it's easier because we've already built that relationship with that family.
And how long have you been with the district in your role?
I'm in my role, this is my 29th year with the district. And
You were
I
just a
think
child then, right? When you started?
That's right, 15. And this is, I believe, my 10th year as a family support worker.
Okay, and prior to that, what was your other role in the district?
I was administrative assistant and a teacher.
Okay, and how do you like this job?
I love this job. Just being able to work with families and getting them on the right track, then we can get the kids on the right track and we get the adults on the right track.
And I'll have to mention John was recently honored with one of our Global Thinking Awards,
Yes.
nominated by his peers,
Yes.
selected and honored for your work with families. So
Oh, yes.
clearly you've had a long-term commitment to the district when you talk about your history with Waterloo Schools.
Yes.
And what about you, Audrey? How did you come to be the administrator now over Kittrell for a decade?
Yes, that seems forever, doesn't it? Well, actually, when I first graduated from the University of Iowa, I was a clerk at Hoover. So my roots go way back. Well, I was a student, of course, in Waterloo also. Go Trojans. But then I did some different things, and then I've been back in the district. I think this is year 16. But I went to Warburg as a non-traditional student in the Waterloo teaching project. And so had an interest in educating children, but then on a larger scale. So just continued my education, and crazy me, I'm back in school now working on my doctorate, completed year 1 with A's, and about 4 years left with that. So one day I'll be Dr. Wallagan-Green, which is exciting also.
It is very exciting. How does it feel to have walked the halls of Waterloo Schools and now in your adult life come back in a role where you are an administrator that perhaps as a child you never saw yourself doing? I mean, or correct me if I'm wrong.
No, you're correct. You are so correct. You know what? It's an honor to be in the position that I am in, having been through the Waterloo Schools. I just want every child to feel important. And so that's part of what I do in the mornings. You'll see me out front. You'll see me doing tons of things. That other number 10 or whatever, I do a lot of those things. So it's about showing respect to the families, being caring and all of that. But I never thought I'd be an administrator. I never thought I'd be a teacher until I became an adult. And this job is not a job, it's a career. You have to have a passion for it, you have to have a love for it, because my hours are very long. I work a lot of hours, and even when I go home I work, because there are tons of emails and data and just a lot of things. So never thought I'd be where I am today, but I thank God that I'm here. And if you ask my students about me, most of them are going to have some positive things to say about Miss Green. So.
That's wonderful, and obviously that validates all of the sacrifices you make, because obviously it can be a stressful position, and you guys sometimes are put in positions where you have to be taking on everyone else's burden, so to speak, and really always feeling like it's on you to find a solution, which isn't always going to be an easy fix. So what is it about you as a woman that makes it perhaps a really neat story for those young people and those families to see? We have a woman who as an adult has sought out a leadership role, and clearly we talk about diversity. I mean, as an African American female administrator, there aren't enough of you being reflected nationwide in education. So how does it feel to sort of be blazing that trail and setting an example for others to follow suit?
Yeah, I watch everything that I do. I'm careful about the things that I say and the things that I do, because I do want to be that role model that other children, not just black children, not just girls, but boys, white children, children from all over the world to see and say, oh, Miss Green, And I will let people know that I was a clerk typist one time. I'm not embarrassed about any of the jobs that I've had. I'm proud of where I was and where I've come. So just allowing people to see the true me, because I'm just Audrey, and John can tell you, there are no big eyes and little U's or anything like that at Kittredge. I'm telling you, I'll do anything. I pick up a mop, I pick up a towel, I do it all, shovel. Yes, I do it all.
Because things can get deep.
Yes.
You might have to dig yourself out.
Exactly, but I want to be a role model, that role model, wherever I am in the community for my students. Students who have gone through my classroom, students who have gone through the school that I'm at, and who knows, one day, because I'll have my superintendency, who knows what the future holds. I'm getting on up in age, but I still have a little time to go, before retirement, so who knows what the next step will be.
Well, it's exciting, and we're excited for you to pursue that opportunity, though that we'd hate to lose you in Waterloo schools, obviously, in that pursuit. What about you, John, being a male role model? Especially in the elementary years, it is a crucial time, for the formative time for young people, and to see you in that leadership role in the building as a male, how do you connect with some of those students in a unique way?
Well, I grew up in the projects in Chicago, and so a lot of the things that our students are going through, I can kind of relate to. And so when I am working with those kids or those families, I can put myself in those situations and kind of work through some things with them. Also, one of the key words that I believe in is relationships. I gotta build a positive relationship with that family and that students in order to be able to connect with them, to let them know, you're not the only one that's been through this. I know about single parent families. I know about, going to bed at night hungry. Some of those things. And so also, I've been around, gang affiliation. So, you're not the only one, but I'm a living example, and thank God that He has brought me through some things, put me in a position where I can be a positive role model and work with them on, it's not the end, it's the beginning, and it's actually up to you. And you can do it if you want to.
And we try hard to meet people where they are.
Yes.
And, we try to maintain those high expectations of our students and of our families, but we really try to meet people wherever they are and try to lead them to becoming even more than they are at this point.
If you're just listening in, you're hearing the voice of Audrey Wallagan-Green. She is the longtime principal at Kittrell Elementary, 10 years now overseeing that elementary building, and John Barker is a family support worker who's been with the district for quite a while as well, splitting his time now between Kittrell and which other elementary?
Lou Henry.
Okay, Lou Henry, so somebody, both of whom are familiar faces across our district. I guess I have to ask you, John, how does a child who grew up in the projects of Chicago come out on the other side in a leadership role, connecting as you are with young people as a positive influence? Did you ever see that light at the end of the tunnel for yourself to be able to get you here today?
Well, I had two major influences in my life, John and Daniel Barker, who said that you will finish school and you will do something with your life. And so, and I had my church behind me. And so those two positive things, as well as my family saying, you're going to do some other things besides the normal thing is to drop out. And so having that and not wanting to disappoint my parents, my family, my church, I didn't have a choice.
That's great. Well, we have about 2 minutes left, but time for Audrey to weigh in here. Tell me about advice you would give to parents and grandparents listening. How can they affect that support and influence on children so that their kids turn out like the two of you?
Yes, well, my dad and my mom both had those high expectations, and that's what I'd say parents and grandparents need to maintain, would be high expectations for your students, for your children. I say to my own children, I have 3, I say to them on a regular basis from the time they were small, when you go to college, I don't say if, I say when. And so I think that has made a big difference. My daughter has graduated, my son has graduated, and then the little one will be graduating from East High next year. So you have to maintain those high expectations, and you have to be a role model, and you have to support. So you have to be visible within the school, at home. You have to ask your students questions. You have to know the things that they're doing. You have to be involved. So there are lots of things that you need to do, but we just have to do it. The children did not ask to be here. It was our choice. So we have some things that we have to make sure are in place.
Well said, and Kittrell Elementary is one of many, giving parents a lot of opportunities for engagement tomorrow night at the Sportsplex from 5 to 8.
Yes.
Audrey, John, and a lot of staff will be there to support your
Yes.
smiling faces. And then on February 3rd at Kittrell, 5:15 to 7, Mardi Gras math, right?
Yes. And reading and health.
Get the
Yes.
beads out.
That's
You're
right.
gonna-
And the mask.
Yes.
I love it. That's
Do it
great.
all, yeah.
Well, I just have to say on behalf of the staff as well as the community, we thank you for your service in Waterloo Schools.
you.
Audrey Wallagan-Green, the woman in charge, the principal at Kittrell Elementary, and family support worker John Barker. Thank you so
Yes.
much for joining us, and all of you have a wonderful day.
Thank you.
Okay, awesome, thanks a lot, I
Well, thank
appreciate
you for
it.
having
I
us
enjoyed
out.
hearing about your journeys to get
Oh,
where you
yes.
are. I think people find that very interesting.
Oh, yeah, we laugh, we cry.
All
Now
of
tell
it.
me which high school you went to in Chicago?
Carver.
Okay.
George Washington Carver.
Okay, I went to Manual High School in Peoria, so
Really?
we used to
Okay.
play a lot of the Chicago
Uh-huh.
schools, because I was there during the year